All right, so today's movie review is Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans from 1927, starring Janet Gaynor and George O'Brien, and directed by F.W. Murnau. All right, so now let me get into my thoughts on the plot. So, the plot, I gave it a 5 out of 5. Um, what I love about this movie, story wise, everything like that, it uses a lot of the horror techniques that we all know um, F.W. Murnau for. So, like Nosferatu, uh, what's another one? I think he did The Phantom Carriage. No, that's Faust. That's another one he did. We all know F.W. Murnau for the kind of more serious films like that. This is more of a romantic movie. And yet, on top of that, though, the husband, picture there on the left, he's trying to kill his wife because he's fallen in love with another woman from the city. She's like, you could drown her. And like the title card, the word shows up slowly and whatnot. It's very ominous. I love this story because it's a beautiful story of romance, rekindling romance, reconciliation, forgiveness, that sort of thing. You could definitely. Well, what's strange is, it didn't win Best Picture the first year, at the first Academy Awards. That honor goes to Wings from, I believe it's also 27. I like Wings. I think it's a fine film, but I agree with a lot of historians. This is the better movie, especially story-wise and plot-wise. It's very tragic, but also a beautiful story, and I think a lot of people resonate with it, can relate to it, especially if you're in a relationship. I think it's beautiful, beautiful plot altogether. 5 out of 5. All right, let's move on to the acting. So I think the acting is fantastic. 5 out of 5. Janet Gaynor on the right there is perfect, and actually so is George O'Brien. You know, the last film I saw him in was it was another silent film. Oh, what was it? Shoot, I can't think of what it was, but um, he did fantastic too, playing kind of like the disgruntled husband who he wants to kill his wife, which is crazy. Um, but when he sees her kind of frightened of him, he realizes the horrible mistake he's about to make. And like I said, it's a beautiful, beautiful story of reconciliation and forgiveness and whatnot. Um, I don't think most people actively try to murder their spouse. um, but I think everybody can relate to the fact that uh, you could fight with your spouse, or you're in a tough situation with them, like you're in a valley instead of a peak, right? That's how relationships go. There's peaks and valleys. This is just a great story. I think will go on forever. I think people will talk about it forever, almost 100 years later. And I think it's due to the acting. I think they were fantastic here. Everybody else, I think, is good, especially the actress, and I forget her name, but the one who plays who plays the woman from the city. I thought she did good too. She was perfectly sinister. This is almost a film noir because of the dark subject matter, and also because she's kind of a femme fatale, almost like a proto femme fatale. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I loved the acting. I thought they did fantastic here, especially once they're in the city and they uh, really date each other again. I think it's beautiful. So 5 out of 5. All right, directing F.W. Murnau. 5 out of 5. He did so good here. Let's look at his list here. You got Nosferatu, Faust, this movie, Last Laugh, Phantom, not Phantom Carriage. He did The Phantom. City Girl, Haunted Castle. I've reviewed a lot of these on this channel. Let's see, where's Finances Grant? Archduke. Yep, I did that one too. He did fantastic here. I might argue this is his magnum opus. I don't know. Because I really loved Faust. That one is my favorite one of his so far. But this is a close second. I think it was really cool how he blended the romance with the horror. I mean, the some of the scenes and whatnot are horror films, and it was fantastic. Great blend of the romance and the terror and whatnot. He did a fantastic job here. 5 out of 5. All right, so cinematography and special effects, 5 out of 5. It's beautiful. There's a scene where they're in the city. That's this one right here, and they're imagining that they're walking into a beautiful garden or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden it cuts to cars all around them, and it was beautifully matched. Like they really matted it really well because it's the same scene of them walking, but then the background changes. It was really cool. Murnau, he had a lot of really cool visual effects he would do in his movies, and this one is chock full of them. I mentioned the title cards earlier. They had great animation in them. They had great design in them. He really put in effort into making this a great film and a beautiful looking film. Because sometimes in title cards, especially, they're just little pieces of text. But no, they decorated them. I was mentioning the city girl. She's like, you could. There's a pause. Drown her, and that comes up all sinister. It was really cool, beautiful, all around. 5 out of 5. All right, let's talk about the music. So the version I saw is the correct one, had the correct music. So I gave it a 5 out of 5. It's beautiful, beautiful music. Really ties it all together. It's hopeful, but it's also a little melancholic, which is kind of what's going on with their relationship in this film. Especially by the end, right? It's not a perfect ending or a perfect story or whatever, but it gives you enough hope that they can actually reconcile. They can make it work out. They have a kid too. They might have two, I think, but they're going to be okay. They're going to figure it out. And I love that. I thought it was beautifully put together. Music really sets the tone. 5 out of 5. Okay. So my overall score is a 5 out of 5, which makes it a 100% on Criticless. So graphic language, none. Violence, well, the attempted murder and choking, that's pretty much the extent of it, other than there's a scene where their boat capsizes later on in the film, and we think that she drowns and whatnot. So there's some definitely tense moments like that, but they're very brief, very tame by today's standard for sure. Okay, in regards to nudity, sexual content, George O'Brien's character here is having an affair. We don't see anything other than him hugging and kissing the woman. There's nothing explicit. Later on, though, we do see a scene with her where she's nude from behind very briefly, but nothing explicit is shown. It's just very brief, kind of out of nowhere. I was not expecting it at all, especially in a film from this era. But again, this is pre-code era, so it was kind of anything goes. Okay, in regards to political bias, none. I wouldn't say there was any. Family friendly, I would say for the most part, very tame. Like I was mentioning with violence and nudity, sexual content, I don't think little kids should watch it. Maybe a little bit older, like preteen, teenage, definitely like 10. I don't think like a 5-year-old should watch it for sure. Okay, entertainment value wise, I thought it was very entertaining. I love this movie. I haven't seen it in a few years, so I was kind of like, okay, I think I like this movie. I don't remember because I watched it in one of my film classes, but no, I love it. I absolutely adored it. It's a beautiful movie. I absolutely recommend it. If there's one silent film you need to watch, this would be the one. I think most people would enjoy it and connect with it. This is the one you should see. And yeah, beautiful film. Highly recommend it. All right, well, those are my thoughts on Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans from 1927, and that concludes today's movie review.